Hello everyone. Welcome to Coaching Ting Talk. So I'm Life Coach Candee Teng. I'm a professional certified CACC life coach and a certified mental health coach from Life Coach Philippines. And this is coaching for mindful eating. So this coaching conversation is for people who sees food as life, but who are actually being challenged by what they eat, which causes them physical, emotional, and mental stress. And of course, my mission is to help 1 million mentally challenged individuals to live independently and responsibly so that they take full control of their life towards healing and recovery. So thank you for joining me live today. And please leave your digital footprints by letting us know where you are coming from today. And please do tag a friend and circulate this video to help us reach more individuals who might be in need of what I'll be sharing for this session. So you may also give some shout outs to people you want to greet and reach out with some inspiring message. So just in case you are watching this on a replay, then please do comment hashtag replay. So I am streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and YouTube channel Coach AI-Connect. So if you are new to our platform, please like, follow, and subscribe. So before I proceed, I would like to greet our fellow digital learners for this morning. So we have Coach Trisha, we have Coach Ann Caber, we have Coach Tin De Hoya. Yan. So, thank you. So, for this episode, nandito din si Geraldine. Hello. So, for this episode, we have Sugar Addiction 101. So, I have been presenting sugar, no, ever since I think it was last year. Paisip ako no, last year nga ba? Yeah. So I have a series about sugar, no. For this one, let's go into the 101 of sugar addiction. What it is and how would you actually say, no, na medyo, if you're going to look into it, medyo nandun ka na sa sugar addiction. So if you have any thoughts, no, on how like to assess yourself, no, if you are already in the sugar addiction, then feel free to share it with me on the comment below, on the comment box. Remember that this is a safe space, so I encourage you to engage, 'di ba? So I value your feedback, your thoughts, no, and your comments. Remember that there is no such thing as right or wrong, no. So just feel free to share your thoughts because I really want to know where you are right now, okay, in terms of like understanding sugar addiction, where you are right now. That's all that matters, no. Actually, it's really where you are right now, so I can meet you and I can further, no, explain and discuss with you what this is all about. Okay? So we have, ayan, si Coach Ann. Yan, nag-ano na siya. Nag-comment na si Coach Ann. Okay, so just in case you're meeting me for the first time again, my name is Candee Teng, no, Coach Candee Teng. So I am a professional certified CACC life coach and a certified mental health coach from Life Coach Philippines. So I am a proud scholar of Master Coach A Strive Speak, a 6-step to 6-figure speaking career training program. I am also a Master Builder Apprentice of Master Coach A, and we build tribe as we help your unstoppable dream to come true. And of course, with that, I am the founder and creator of When Comfort is Not Too Comfortable Coaching Community. And I am, of course, a proud coachee of Master Coach A for 4 years now. And when I came to Master Coach A, I was clinically diagnosed with multiple mental illnesses, and I was really trying hard and having a hard time just surviving. Ayan. And one of those illnesses that I have are actually eating disorder. So it has been a journey for me. I think it was since I was 17 years old. Napaisip ako bigla. No. It was, I think, 16 years old pala, no? As early as 16 years old. Yes, as early as 16 years old, I have this eating disorder already. Okay, but yeah. So I have been battling the eating disorder, no, since 16 years old. And even though I am healed, no, yes, I am healed from my multiple mental illnesses. I'm healed from my eating disorder, no, but yung patterns ng brain ko, the way I really decide on food, um, it needs a lot of improvement. That's why we have coaching for mindful eating. It is actually a journey for me where I could journey with you as well in terms of becoming aware with your food, no? Because oftentimes people don't see the value of food, but no, no, when you have a clear perspective of what food really is, it can become a natural healing source for your health. And when I talk about health, not only physical health, but as well, no, yung mental health natin. Okay? Ayan. So we have Coach Marife. Hello, Coach Marife. And for our viewers, no, belated happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. So before I proceed, of course, I invite you to get your hashtag Pack My Bag moments. So these are your intentional learnings, no? These are your aha moments, epiphanies. These are word sharings that resonated with you, and these are powerful truths that speak to your heart. And even, no, syempre, dahil nga sugar addiction ang pinag-uusapan natin, pwedeng aray, masakit. Yes, it even pinches your heart. And bakit siya hashtag pack my bag moment, no? Just like your bags that you carry around with you in your journey through life, your hashtag pack my bag moments are learnings that you carry around with you, that you can carry around with you as you go on living. So this can help you. Okay, this can help you a lot, of course. And as you are being blessed right now, I encourage you to share your hashtag pack my bag moment on your timeline so you get to bless other people as well. And if you want to put the context so people will know where your hashtag pack my bag moment comes from, you can put hashtag coaching think talk, hashtag mindful eating, and hashtag mentally fit. Phil, ayan. Hello, Coach Ma'am. Magandang morning. Ayan, so again, let's talk about sugar addiction 101. Okay, so before we dive into sugar addiction, let's first, no, be clear what addiction really means. Okay, so the term addiction actually implies psychological dependence. Okay, so importante dito is the psychological dependence, and thus it is actually a mental or cognitive problem. Okay, hindi po siya joke time. Okay, hindi porket it's not an addiction on bigger things that impacts your life. Example, no, pinaka-common na addiction is what we all know is drug addiction, and yun yung parang sinasabi ng mga tao, di ba? Wow, grabe, drug addiction. But there is actually other forms of addiction. So for this episode, I will talk about sugar addiction. But when it comes to addiction, know that it is actually psychological dependence, and it is a mental or cognitive problem. It is not just a physical ailment. Hindi siya physical sickness lang, no, na sabi nating addiction. It is actually psychological. So technically, addiction is often used synonymously with the term dependence. Okay, when you're very, very dependent on something, it is actually and can become addiction. Okay, so the diagnostic criteria for addiction can be grouped in 3 stages. Okay, so first is binging. Okay, binging. Okay, yung binging hindi lang pang pagkain. Okay, binge. You have the tendency to binge on something. Okay, on whatever yung na-form yung addiction mo, nagbi-binge ka doon. So binging is defined as the escalation of intake with a high proportion of intake at one time, usually after a period of voluntary abstinence or forced deprivation. So pwedeng nafe-feel mo deprived ka, that's why you're eventually going to binge. Again, this is not only limited to sugar, no. This can be in the form of shopping. This can be in a form of depende kung there's really a lot example, no. So madami dito, may sex addiction, may shopping addiction, may gaming addiction. So iba-ibang form ng addiction. Of course, there's drug addiction, okay? But then again, for this one, it's sugar addiction, okay? And then there is actually an enhanced intake in the form of binges. So nagbi-binge ka na enhance pa yung binging, no, that eventually results from both sensitization and tolerance to the sensory properties of a substance of abuse. Ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon ng sensitization and tolerance ka na doon sa substance na ina-abuse mo. Okay? That occurs in repeatedly. Repeated. So, kailangan repeated mo siyang ginagawa. So, Ano yung sensitization? So, sensitization is what we call an increase in responsiveness to a repeatedly presented stimulus. Ibig sabihin, you are binging, tas eventually, no, nag-i-increase yung pag-respond mo doon sa bagay na yon. Okay? So, binging, then sensitization, then comes tolerance. So, tolerance is a gradual decrease in responsiveness such that more of the substance is needed to produce the same effect, because usually when we go into addiction, no, we get a certain reward, okay? Meron tayong reward na nakukuha. So when you talk about sugar addiction, meron ka nakukuha. Okay, when you eat sugary food, okay, may nakukuha kang sugary something, okay? And eventually, no, as you keep on repeating, since nandoon yung sensitization, no, nag-i-increase yung responsiveness mo. Dumadagdag, no, hindi lang siya nag stay the same, dumadagdag siya. And because tolerance eventually happens, no, since our bodies are able to adapt, okay, lalo din siyang dumadagdag because you want to produce the same feeling or the same high, okay, yung high na sinasabi, and eventually you go into a cycle, okay? Okay, gets po ba natin? Okay. So, it is thought to actually, no, yung addiction is actually very powerful in terms of influence and acute reinforcing effects of drug abuse, or whatever abuse you're having, sugar abuse, you know, technically it's health abuse, okay, are important at the beginning of addiction cycle, since both, okay, especially yung binging, you want to really look into it because the binging really is the one that starts it, okay? And there is another actually component, no? Meron eventually cross-sensitization, okay? It is actually a phenomenon in which sensitization to a stimulus is generalized to a related stimulus. Ibig sabihin, nanganganak po siya. Yes, nanganganak po siya, resulting in the amplification of a particular response to both the original stimulus and the related stimulus. Okay, so nagre-ripple effect po ito sa different areas of our life. So that's when you talk about addiction, yun talaga siya. So if you're going to put it into sugar addiction, okay, in a nutshell, nagbi-binge, you eventually tend to binge on sugar. So when you talk about binge, hindi po siya, it's different from one person to another, no? What can be binging to me, maybe sobra-sobra na sa ibang tao, and what may be binging for another person, maybe like, chill sa akin. Okay? So, but the key here is when you binge, eventually there's a repeated action, no? Tapos nag-i-increase siya. The increase may not be, very substantial, no, hindi siya agad-agad na mapapansin, but eventually, no, eventually you find this taking control of your life, and eventually tumataas yung tolerance mo with whatever substance that you are abusing, okay? And eventually cross-sensitization happens, nagre-ripple effect yan sa ibang areas ng buhay natin unknowingly. Okay, unknowingly. Yung cross-sensitization is something that I want you to look into because oftentimes hindi ito napapansin ng tao. Sabi, hello Coach Nords, okay, I'm just reading the comment. Sabi ni Coach Marife, sugar is sweet and we like a sweet life. Okay, avoid making it a substitute for addiction will follow. Yes, Coach Nords. Now, have you ever heard of this, that sugar is as addictive as a cocaine? So this is actually your brain on a scan, okay? So makikita natin, 'di ba, yung normal brain on the left side, then this is yung this is the brain of a person who does cocaine, okay? Who is addicted to cocaine. And yung mga obese na people, okay, nandoon din. So nakita nyo ba yung green, how much it is actually the same? Actually, no, because both cocaine and sugar triggers the same pleasure and reward stimulus in our brain. So pag titingnan nyo yan, same area siya. Although, syempre, medyo hindi natin nakikita si sugar as something to be really mindful of kasi mas hindi mas hindi grabe kunyari 'no, kunyari kasi totoo naman grabe yung effect ng sugar sa katawan natin 'no. Hindi natin kasi nakikita that it is actually damaging unlike cocaine, okay? Unlike cocaine or other forms of drug kasi nakikita mo may alteration agad 'no, doon sa personality ng tao, sa behavior ng tao. But if you really look into it 'no, sugar is actually more deadly, especially for me. Sugar is more deadly because it is a silent killer and it is a slow killer. And yung pag-addicted natin na sa sugar 'no, oftentimes comes more unaware, okay? Mas unaware tayo when it comes to sugar addiction. Again, there is actually now, if you look into it, no, if nakita nyo na yung criteria of binging, sensitization, toleration, now comes the four components of addiction. Okay? So this is first, if you're going through the cycle na to, no, in stage of addiction, then technically, there's first binging. Si binging, nandyan po talaga yan. Okay? The second is withdrawal. Okay? The second stage is withdrawal. Magkakaroon ka ng withdrawal effect. Ito yung mga times na nakikita mo na namimiss mo si sugar. Pag wala kang sugar, irritable ka. Kailangan makakuha ka, di ba? Yan. So, withdrawal, anything na ano yung sugar mo. If walang sugar, nai-stress ka. Okay? This is part of withdrawal. Then next is the craving. Dahil nga nagwi-withdraw ka, eventually, since it's already addicting to you, sino po dito nagkakaroon ng cravings? Bigla mo na iisip. Bigla mo na iisip. Ayan. And eventually, no, you fall into the same cycle, you will give in to the binging again. So, usually, iikot siya. Now comes cross-sensitization. Paano if you didn't go for sugar? Oftentimes, we unknowingly go for a substitute. Okay? Substitute form nun. Okay? An example of this, if you're so used to eating cake, and then eventually, no, you're into like, you want to cut cakes. Okay? So, nag-withdrawal ka, magkakaroon ka ng craving, and eventually, the cross-sensitization can come in a form of you eating carbs, any kind of carbs, like junk foods. Okay? Fried foods. Okay? Because in reality, yung mga carbs, these are actually sugars as well. Okay? So pag nag-digest yan sa katawan natin, it forms into glucose as well. Okay? Kaya siya may cross-sensitization. Or matitrigger yung ibang addiction mo. In short, if you have like, in my case, no, I have a shopping addiction before, no. So, pag yung sugar addiction ko before, tinatry ko talaga siya i-manage, no. I'm trying to cut it. Magre-ripple effect siya. I can stop with the sugar, but yung shopping addiction ko, no, matitrigger siya. Okay? So, yun po yung perfect example nun. Pag titingnan mo, di ba, walang ka-relate talaga si shopping, di ba, sa sugar addiction. But since there is cross-sensitization, ibig sabihin kumukross ka. And yung effect kasi talaga ng addiction, no, it goes through other areas of your life. Unknowingly, you may have other forms of addiction that you are just unaware of. And that's why it's very important for you to work with a mental health coach in order for you to become more aware of this. Okay? So sugar consumption can create actually a short term of high and a spark of energy in the body. Sino po yung alam dito na sugar rush? Ayan, so yan po yung high na sinasabi, okay? That's the equivalent of the high of cocaine, okay? High, at yung high na sinasabi. And a spark of energy in the body. So yung iba, di ba, talagang they reach for sugar because they want the spark of energy. They need the sugar rush in order like to go through the work, to go to study, ayan. So yun po ginagawa nila, okay? And some studies have suggested that sugar is as addictive again as cocaine. And people often enjoy the dopamine release that sugar brings. So meron din po kasi ang cocaine na dopamine release. But due of course to the addictive nature of sugar, long-term health effects like obesity and diabetes are a risk of sugar overindulgence. Samahan mo pa ng triglycerides. Okay? That's why it is deadly because it has a longer effect, health effect, on your body. And similar to other compulsions or behavioral addiction, no, sugar addiction is a special risk for people with low moods, anxiety, bipolar disorder, no, ano pa ba, depression and stress, no? Okay, so ito, mas delikado siya, okay? This is more people who are experiencing low moods, anxiety, stress, depression, bipolar, no? This is very, very, very risky, okay? Because these behaviors are related to the neurochemical changes in the brain that also occur with addictive drugs. So in short, if you're experiencing anxiety, depression, chronic stress, bipolar, ayan, schizo, mga mental disorders, no, mga mental health illnesses actually, you are more at risk if you continue to go for sugar addiction. And napapalala niya din ang inflammation in our brain. If you know the function of sugar, wala po siya ibang function. Actually, it is actually, masarap lang siya, but it causes inflammation in all organs of our body, including the brain. So if you already have something, no, na mental condition, it actually triggers it and it causes it to rapidly decline. Okay? So, additionally, no, people who suffer from constant tiredness, no, sino po dito yung feeling na pagpagod po kayo, automatically you reach for a carb-rich, sugary food for a boost. Ayan, ice cream, cake, soda. Okay, soda like Coke. Ayan, isa din po yan siya. Okay, isa din po siya. You go for carb-rich, no? Pwede ding donut. Ayan, naku si donut kasi in its form, ano na siya, carb na siya. Tapos may sugar pa siya, di ba? So sugar releases endorphins in the body and combines it with other chemicals in the body, resulting to a surge of energy. Ito yung high, no? And once someone mentally connects sugar with the help, okay, help of providing energy, eventually, no, people become dependent on it. And people may begin to crave sugar to balance irritability, emotional lows, and other conditions, especially if stressed. Okay, and at this point, there is often little control over dietary habits, and sugar addiction is eventually developed. Kaya again, when you talk about addiction, nagiging dependence. It's very different for if once in a while, no, you go for um sugary stuff. But if you really look into it, no, pag nagkakaroon ka na talaga ng craving, napapadalas na siya. And especially when we talk about stress, no, whenever you're stressed, you tend to emotionally eat, then that is something that you really want to watch out for kasi nagiging stress response na siya. Eventually, your body becomes used to it. Hindi mo alam, probably, no, you might not be aware, but it is already addiction. Okay, it's already addiction. Okay, so and like many other substance disorders or behavioral compulsions, no, sugar addiction is often very easy to spot. Okay, the clearest signs of sugar addiction involve consumption of large amounts of food or drinks laden with sugar. Ibig sabihin, food and drink na may sugar. Okay, if hindi man like siya literally na sugar, this can be in a form of carbs. Okay, carbs, high in carbs, high in trans fat, ayan. Yung mga fried food, ayan. This can be, yung fried food, usually these are cross-sensitization already, no? And usually, no, you eat constantly, no? You eat constantly, even if you're not hungry. You eat out of boredom. Sino po dito, pag bored kumakain? Ako po, guilty po talaga ako doon, okay? And you become hyper and you crash. Okay, so hyper ka, tapos mamaya, pagod ka na, gusto mo nang matulog, gusto mong humiga, gusto mong magpahinga, okay? And they may even talk about craving sugar after stressful or irritating life experience. Whenever something happens to you that is stressful, sino po dito yung you find yourself, tara mag-cake tayo, tara mag-ice cream tayo, tara mag-donut tayo. Ayan, sino po yung mga hashtag relate. Okay, so these are common signs that is very, very easy to spot. But then again, you require honesty on your part in order to see this. Okay, so people may find sugar's ability to provide instant energy, no, combined with the good taste of sugar foods enticing, and sugar provides some bakit nga ba tayo na-addicted sa sugar, no? Because it provides a quick fix, no, during a long and stressful day. Kasi nga automatically when you eat sugar, it releases dopamine in your body. So yun yung nagiging quick fix natin, especially when the mood is low and stress ka, di ba? Automatic nagkaka-high, automatic nagkaka-happiness, a sense of happiness. You get the sense of happiness. And eventually, no, that's why people become addicted to it. And people who are enduring, of course, mga breakup and other emotionally stressful situation often turns to chocolate, ice cream to comfort themselves during difficult times. Okay? So, sino po dito yung once in their life, nakita mo na oo nga, no? Okay. So, however, no, those who turn to sugar to deal with emotional issues are more likely to become addicted to sugar. Okay. And other indications of sugar addiction for emotional relief are weight gain and difficulty focus on daily responsibilities. Okay, these side effects can damage, eventually, no, it damages your self-esteem. It causes the feeling of helplessness. Alam mo yung paulit-ulit ka na lang sa cycle na you wanna cut sugar and then you eventually you go back to sugar. Tapos mas lumalakas pa yung craving mo sa sugar. So eventually, yung na-lose mong weight, nag-gain back din siya. And usually, it's times two, no? Lower self-worth, and this in turns lead to more sugar consumption and a more severe addiction. So can you see the cycle of that? 'Di ba? You go for sugar to find emotional relief, but eventually as you gain weight or as yung health mo deteriorates, no, eventually it damages your self-esteem, it causes you to feel helpless, it damages your self-worth, no? So eventually, pag ganun yung emotions mo, down din yung emotions mo. And you need some pick-me-up to lift the emotions, automatically you will reach for sugar. Kaya nagiging severe yung sugar addiction and sugar consumption. I hope you are still with me. Okay? So may nakikita naman akong viewers na nandiyan pa. Okay. So again, if you have any thoughts, if you have like questions, no, just feel free to message me in my Facebook account, either in my page, Coach Candee, no, Life Coach Candee, or in my personal account, Candee Teng. Okay, sabi ni Coach Ann, yes, Coach Marife, naging habit ko na after taking meals. Parang gusto kong kumain ng sweets kaagad. Yan. Now, here, if you can see dito, no, dito sa slide na to, this is actually, no, the sugar addiction cycle in its simplest sense. This is the sugar addiction cycle. Of course, first you eat sugar because you like it, you crave it, no, and again, since sugar, it has addictive properties. Okay, kaya parang kailangan feeling mo meron ka nun. Okay, you eat sugar. Then second, of course, scientifically, pag nadadigest din sa katawan natin, blood sugar level spike. Okay? So, aangat po yung blood sugar natin, which eventually, dopamine is released in your brain and addiction is triggered. Ibig sabihin, high ka. Ito yung sinasabi nilang sugar rush. Okay? The high. Okay? And of course, mas insulin secreted in your body eventually to drop the blood sugar levels. Kasi again, if you want to know about insulin, no, you want to look into the past episode in Inside Coaching for Mindful Eating. I talked about insulin, ano yung tawag dito, yung role ni insulin. I think insulin 101, okay? Because pag masyadong sugar, pag nakasense yung katawan natin ng sugar, no, automatically our body releases insulin in order to normalize the sugar level. So magre-release ng mas insulin, no, to drop the blood sugar level. So automatically, no, yung blood sugar levels natin, it will drop. Okay, it will fall rapidly because of high insulin levels that is secreted by our body, no. And ito na dito mapupunta na idalagay niya yan sa different areas of our body. It can become eventually stored as a fat or part of the liver. So meron po yan. Again, I will not dive into this because this is another talk, okay? Part na siya ng insulin 101. And eventually, yung body mo, you get the loss of the sugar high. Okay? Ito yung eventually your sugar, um, this is, yun, sugar crash. This is where you crash, no? Nawawala yung sugar high mo, mag-sugar crash ka. And literally, your body begins to crash. Okay, nawawala yung high, nagiging down siya. Like literally, others can feel fatigue, others can feel sleepiness. Okay, oftentimes it's sleepiness. Bigla nakakaramdam ka ng pagod. Okay, and yung pagod mo usually doble pa siya nung when you first ate the sugar, no, dumodoble siya actually. And then, eto na, since nawala na yung sugar high, it goes to sugar crash, eventually, hunger and cravings kick in because scientifically, since your blood sugar levels are low, it causes increased appetite and craving. Thus, the cycle is repeated. Ayan. So, yun po ang sugar addiction perpetual cycle. It may seem simple, and oftentimes we go through this sugar addiction unmindfully. Now, yung the trigger can be very, very different from one person to another. Okay? For some, again, pag nasa emotional eating, they really have that sugar. Kailangan nila magkaroon ng sugar. And in my case, okay, sa case ko kasi, talaga literal sugar addiction siya because I don't need anything to trigger something anymore. So, syempre pag emotional stress, kakain ako, 'di ba, ng sweets, okay? But then again, even out of boredom, I eat sweets. And even if I'm not hungry, if I see a cake, I feel that the cake is speaking to me. Eat me, eat me, eat me. So ganun po kalala yung sugar addiction ko before. I really just have to grab it. As in, if I see it, kahit hindi ako gutom, I want to have it. So eventually, in my case, no, yung ganun ka taas yung sugar addiction ko before. How about now? Wala na. Okay? The sugar addiction has been, wala na talaga siya. Like literally, even if you present a cake to me, I'll just look at it. Parang, I don't have the cravings anymore. And how was I able to do this? Did I do this overnight? Hindi po. Okay? One of the way that I did it, of course, is I have a personal coach. I have Master Coach A with me. We are undergoing the TLC program, which is the Therapeutic Lifestyle Program, and this is where the importance of healthy switch comes in, no, because oftentimes especially if you have an addiction on food, no, even anong kind of food yan, you cannot just immediately cut it kasi again you have to understand there's binging, there's withdrawal, no, there's cross sensitization. So again, sorry, four components siya: binging, withdrawal, then there will be craving, and eventually cross sensitization. That's why you need to work with a mental health professionals because it affects the way the brain works, okay? And nababantayan po kasi yan when you work with a mental health coach. The mental health coach can see when you are already in the process of withdrawal, and it is important, no, that you don't actually trigger much of the withdrawal kasi lalakas yung cravings mo doon. Okay? And if you are able to go through, no, the binging, the withdrawal, the cravings, kaya mo siya, then you must watch out for the cross-sensitization. Saan siyang area ng buhay mo next magmamanifest? Because if you don't get to handle it, iikot lang rin siya. Because pwede mapunta siya, yung addiction mo, in another form of addiction, but eventually, no, pag kinerb mo to, lalabas ulit yung sugar addiction because it triggers the same area of your brain. So in my case, what happened is I went into healthy switch. We didn't remove sugar. I honestly use Citadel Slim Syrup, no, because it is a sugar substitute that doesn't affect your glucose level. It doesn't produce the high, no? Ibig sabihin, hindi niya ginagawa yung high. But it triggers the same response in my brain of getting the sweetness, okay? Yung lasa ng sweetness. And what I love about Citadel Slim is it comes with 4 different flavors. There's vanilla, brown sugar, caramel, and hazelnut. So I don't feel that I am deprived. Unlike, no, pag nag-stevia lang ako. And people, no, oftentimes other people feels the yung tabang, I think it's tabang or pait ng stevia na nalalasahan siya. But for Citadel Slim, you get to enjoy, okay? So hindi na feel ng brain mo that deprive siya. So actually, yung brain mo is already going through the withdrawal symptoms, pero hindi mo siya napapansin. Hindi mo siya napapansin because you still get that sweetness feel. That's why it's very effective. Then eventually, no, nag-switch lang po ako. I just switched, then eventually, nawala po siya. Because there's like a stage that you really have to watch out for the withdrawal and the craving to kick in. Okay? You have to just go through that. Eventually, pag nalagpasan mo po yon, then you can overcome sugar addiction. It was really possible for me, and plus insulin wine. Okay, I got into insulin wine and insulin tea. It helps with the, again, 'di ba, yung insulin, it helps, no, normalize your blood glucose level. Okay, so yun po siya. So I really have combinations, okay, combinations of products to use in order to go through and win over sugar addiction. So if you want to do more about this, if you want to find ways in order for you to handle your sugar addiction, then feel free to message me. I'd really love to share my story with you, to go into the details, and of course to journey with you in your in cutting your sinasabi nga nilang sweet tooth cycle. Sabi ni Coach Ann, totoo ba yun, Coach, na di ka makatulog pag maraming sweets na nakain mo? Yes, Coach. Kasi po, di ba, may sugar rush. Nagra-rush yung sugar. That's why you have to eventually, create an outlet for that sugar rush. Hindi po talaga tayo nakakatulog. Okay? And oftentimes, pag nag-crash, doon naman po natutulog. And oftentimes, since it's crashing, it's part of a withdrawal phase as well, no? Tumatagal naman yung tulog. So eventually, nahihirapan din bumangon and mag-function. And sabi ni Coach Teen, sugar rush, Coach, pag nag-subside. Yan, okay. Yun po siya. Okay? So, if you have any questions, feel free to connect with me. If you want more clarity on this, then feel free to connect with me. So, as I end this episode, of course, let me invite you to join Coach Teen De Hoya later, no, for a life coaching immersion class. This is no monetary investment. In short, free po siya. You get to really immerse and dive into life coaching and experience what life coaching is really all about. So this is later, no, at 7:30 p.m. So I encourage you to join. And if you want to know about the registration link, I think just si Coach Teen can provide the registration link on the comment box, excuse me. So just in case you are not yet you are not yet a smart holder of B-Learning e-card, then of course you are missing the perks that we are enjoying, and today is the best time for you to take action. So B-Learning Society is actually the tent maker of B-Learning homes for mental fitness, where you get, when you get into the membership, when you join us to become a mental model collector, you get to enjoy 5% food and beverage discount from Decaf Coffee Republic. Of course, you get a full access pass to Mental Model Masterclass by Master Coach A, which happens every fourth Saturday of the month. Plus, you get to benefit from a 90-minute free coaching session with senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. So, you want to save the date on February 26 at 7 p.m. for our next Mental Model Masterclass, as Master Coach A will teach about the fractal productivity mental model. So with the massive availability of labor-saving devices, no, and technologies, no, our biggest challenge now isn't really about working too much, but it's about what to do with all of our free time. So join Master Coach A inside B-Learning Society again on February 26 at 7 p.m. where you get to eventually, unpack the paradoxes of time, the the fractal productivity mindset and the secret behind Warren Buffett's success. Okay? So connect with Coach Giselle to 0917-586-1661 for more information and registration assistance. Now, for individuals who intend to embark on a journey of becoming a certified life coach like us, Master Coaching offers co-actively co-create life coach certification program. So this is a CPD accredited course with 40 credit units, and CPD is all about learning new things or refreshing your knowledge by doing new things. And this what makes CACC Life Coach certification program the perfect track for your continuing professional development. So life coaching is a 21st century learning experience that empowers professionals to enhance their skills in multiple domains, and thereby they actually increase their value and their relevance in an increasingly challenging and complex workplace. So the CACC course includes a 21-day web-based learning, a 3-day live coaching bootcamp with Master Coach A, a 3-day live business bootcamp with senior coaching team. And as you can see on your screen, there are so many other bonuses, including 3 done-for-you coaching programs. So when you get to you get yourself certified, you get your certification, you can already jumpstart and launch your coaching profession because you already have a coaching plan to help you. Okay, so if you want to know more about the other bonuses and the program details, then I invite you to connect with Coach Giselle through 0917-586-1661 to discover the opportunities that awaits you in this very fulfilling profession, which is actually the second fastest growing profession in the world today. And this profession will help you create relevance in your space. Okay, so do join us for another coaching conversation later with Coach Cherry for coaching for leap formation at 2 p.m. and Coach Rizal for coaching for purposeful living at 4 p.m. Once again, this is Coach Candee Teng from Life Coach Philippines for coaching Think Talk, because coaches like us think and talk like this, and this is us in the Philippines. Love and boom, love and boom, love and boom. Bye-bye!
As a business owner, are you overwhelmed by the need to post beautiful, engaging content every single day? Are you left wondering what to write? Tired of scrolling through stock photos that all start to look the same? Confused by complicated graphic design programs? Rise Up Creatives is here to help. Each month, we give you everything you need to create 31 days of social media content in just 5 minutes a day. Customizable captions, curated lifestyle photos, a drag-and-drop graphic design tool, and the ability to post directly to your social media accounts. No one else empowers you with these 4 resources all in one place. Each month, we help you plan your social media calendar by providing you with 31 image themes and customizable captions so you can quickly and easily create engaging content and grow your following. Simply select the image that works best for your feed or story. Then, copy the caption and customize it to fit your audience. 5 minutes a day. It's that quick. Plus, you'll absolutely love our drag-and-drop graphic design tool. Start from scratch or choose one of our beautiful templates to fit your unique brand. When you're ready to export your design, you can download, email, or post directly to your social media accounts. Here's the truth. Our world needs what you have to offer. Don't let technology or procrastination hold you back. Rise Up Creatives is more than an online resource. We're a community helping you overcome your biggest barriers to reach your greatest goals. We're here to help you rise up and be creative.